Hey, I get it. When you're trying to set up a home gym, you're staring at a maze of benches, racks, and dumbbells, and the last thing you want is to waste cash on something that ends up taking up space or, worse, limits the exercises you can actually do. You've probably asked yourself, will this bench really let me do a full body routine, or am I just buying a piece of furniture that looks good but doesn't move the needle? If you're on the fence, stick around because I'm going to walk through exactly why the small dumbbell weight bench could be the right fit for you or why you might want to keep scrolling. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First, let's talk about the core idea behind this piece of equipment. It's marketed as an all-in-one adjustable bench that lets you do everything from bench presses to hyperextensions without needing a separate rack or a set of dumbbells that come with a built-in bar. That sounds great on paper, especially if you're living in an apartment or a small garage where floor space is at a premium. The bench's arch design is supposed to naturally curve to the back, which many users say helps engage the core more effectively during supine movements. In practice, that means when you're doing a set of crunches or a leg lift routine, you don't have to worry about sprawling or sagging. The curve gives you a stable platform that nudges your spine into a safer alignment. Now, who actually benefits from this design? If you're a beginner to intermediate lifter who wants to hit a variety of muscle groups without buying a full-size power rack, this bench hits the sweet spot. Imagine you're working a full-body circuit 3 times a week. One day you're doing dumbbell chest presses, the next you're tackling hip thrusts, and on a third day you're focusing on core work like sit-ups and Russian twists. The adjustable backrest lets you switch from a flat position to a slight incline in a matter of seconds, so you don't have to shuffle equipment around or readjust complicated knobs. For people who value quick transitions, think busy professionals squeezing a 30-minute workout into a lunch break, this convenience can be a real time saver. On the flip side, if you're a serious lifter who already owns a barbell set, a squat rack, and a dedicated bench for heavy lifts, you might find the small bench a bit limiting. The all-in-one claim works best when you're pairing the bench with a set of dumbbells, not when you're looking to load up 200+ pounds on a barbell. The bench's weight capacity isn't advertised in the brief, but most entry-level home benches max out around 300,400 pounds total, which includes both your body weight and the dumbbells. If you routinely bench 150 pounds each side, you could be flirting with the upper limits of the design, potentially compromising stability. Let's get into the practical strengths that actually matter after you pull the bench out of the box. The biggest win is the ease of adjustment. The lever-type system that changes the backrest angle is smooth and doesn't require you to wrestle with pins or knobs, which is a common pain point on lower-priced models. I've seen people try to set up a bench before a workout and spend 5 minutes fumbling with the adjustments. This one lets you lock into a flat or 30-degree incline in a single motion, saving you precious minutes. Another perk is the footprint. The bench is compact enough that it can sit against a wall or fit under a desk when not in use, and the legs have non-slip pads that keep it steady on hardwood or carpet. That's the kind of hidden practicality you rarely see highlighted in the product copy. There are, however, a few weaknesses you should be aware of before you add it to your cart. The first is the lack of a dedicated leg support or drop leg feature. For exercises like hip thrusts, you'll have to rely on the bench's flat surface and an additional pad or towel to protect your hips. This isn't a deal breaker, but it does mean you won't get the same level of comfort you'd find on a specialized hip thrust bench. Second, the arch design that's meant to help your core does introduce a slight curve that some users with a very flat lumbar spine might find uncomfortable during longer sets of dumbbell presses. If you have a history of lower back issues, you might want to test the bench with lighter weight first to see how your back reacts. Finally, the bench doesn't come with its own set of dumbbells or a storage rack, so you'll need to purchase those separately. That's an added cost you need to factor in if you were hoping for a completely all-in-one package. A real-world scenario can help paint the picture. Let's say you're a college student living in a one-bedroom apartment with a modest desk and a small living area. You want to stay in shape but can't afford